Aloha, my love. Helena Das here, and today I want to share with you 3 surprising signs that you are leveling up. And before I dive into this, I think, really enlightening conversation that I'm sharing based on personal firsthand experience, I want to take a moment to thank you for stopping by and finding your way here and let you know that you are in the right place. If you are a woman who loves horses, whether or not you have them, if you're a soul-led biz owner, and if you consider yourself a dark horse, aka black sheep, starseed, someone who really knows in their bones that the reason that they have never felt in most of their life is because they're here to stand out and shine and lead with their personal brand of magic. So welcome to the Dark Horse movement if you're here, and if you resonate with this video and what I'm sharing, I would be grateful for you to like, share, subscribe, do all the things, okay? So let's get into it. The first surprising sign that you are leveling up is this feeling of disorientation, this feeling of even like chaos and drama and situations showing up seemingly out of nowhere once you've actually activated or tapped into your next level self and the success, the reality, the results that you desire, okay, in life, in business, and beyond. And what's happening is you're like tasting like doses and moments of that chosen timeline. You're seeing glimpses of that new reality, maybe even noticing like shifts in the 3D. And there's also like things showing up that feel like drama and chaos and confusion that, again, seemingly from out of nowhere. And that is because the universe, who is responding to your activation of your next level self success and reality, is starting to rearrange things to help you close that gap, to help you become a vibrational alignment of that woman in that chosen timeline. And that often means that your current self, your old identity and reality, who is not aligned or a match for the new, some things need to get rearranged. Whether it's certain, belief structures that need to get changed or updated, whether there are certain habits or behaviors or people, places, or things that are just not aligned with this new reality or chosen timeline that need to fall away. Whatever is going on is because, again, the universe is trying to set you up for success for what you declared that you desire, okay? And then we have this disconnect between where you are now and where you want to be. And it's going to be different for everyone in terms of the level of chaos and drama that might show up and the amount of time it can take to move through it, okay? All depends on where you're at on the journey, how aware you are, there are a lot of factors. Anyway, that first surprising sign, which can make you feel like, if you're not aware, it's a setback or a sign that that thing is really not meant for you or meant to be, okay? And so to give an example of how this manifested for me not too long ago at the end of last year, I had this powerful nudge to attend a live event that was taking place in South Florida. And of course, because I always roll that way, or always prefer to, I should say, I wanted to go VIP, and I signed up for this event, and it was a little bit of a stretch because I had just actually committed to and signed up with 2 different year-long programs with those mentors and coaches. Anyway, my soul really wanted to do this thing and felt the nudge. And so within days of me taking the aligned, inspired action, leaning into my edge, following the nudge, right? It felt like all hell broke loose. Our refrigerator died. Our well went out. Like, all these things were happening. And there was a part of me, the old me, that was like, oh, this isn't meant to be. Maybe I should back out. Maybe I should sell my ticket. Is this a sign, right? But the new me, that next level me, who knew that attending that event and putting myself in the room was the aligned action step at that time, stayed steady, right? I did the inner work, the nervous system recalibration, and just working through the emotions and all the things, right? Anyway, fast forward, it was like one of the best decisions I ever made, and the ripple effect of that event, which still continues in terms of my own upgrades energetically, personally, professionally, has been like truly, I can't even put words into it, magical, insane. Anyway, had I talked myself out of it and let my old self win, then chances are I would still be, in that older self reality and having her behaviors and making decisions from her place and all the things. Anyway, point being, what looked like chaos, what looked like drama, right, was actually a sign that I was leveling up, and I stayed the course and figured it out. All right. So that's kind of the lesson there. So the second sign, which is connected to that, and this is all connected in different layers, if you will, is going to be sort of the emotional stuff that comes up as a result of feeling the chaos and the disorientation or the instability, or the doubt and the second guessing and the fear and the resistance and all the things, right? It's the emotional stuff, right, that comes up. And, just to stick with that example, I did have, like I said, I had to navigate and work with my nervous system and move through a lot of fear and resistance and uncomfortable conversations with my partner and all the things. And what I want you to know is when you're again activating that next level, whatever that looks like for you, and then, backing it up with aligned, inspired action, right? Things are starting to shift. The chaos and the rearranging of the energy is a very natural next step. And so on an emotional level, all the fears and doubts and insecurity, everything, all that's going to come up. And so it is important for you to know that that is also a sign that you're leveling up, and not to let it mean that if you have fear or doubt or whatever coming up, again, that it's not meant for you, or or you're not meant to do something, if that makes sense. It's not a sign for you not to do something, okay? Which again the old me used to take things like that as, oh, this is a sign I shouldn't be doing this. I'm on the wrong path or whatever, right? This is why I wanted to have this conversation. And so the third surprising sign, which again, these are all connected in the different dimensions or layers, is body issues. I have done trainings that I've called the body side of breakthroughs. And because our body and our nervous system, right, keeps score and is always trying to keep us safe, the fear and the resistance and all the things that we're talking about that were in the emotional level in the second, sign, can show up on the physical level, again, depending on, where you're at on the journey, how much work you've done on yourself, what, how big your leap is, all the things. There's so many things that can, that are factors. So you can have injuries come up. You can have flu-like symptoms or, getting sick. You can have, I used to do this back in the day whenever I was either just took like a huge leap of faith and was really leveling up, my back would go out because there was so much fear and I had to work through that. Thankfully, that rarely happens anymore. And I even had just a couple months ago, some really weird, intense knee stuff come up. And I'll tell you, I actually thought I almost was going to have surgery. It was that painful. It was a 10 plus out of 10 in terms of the intensity and the pain. But because I, used my practices and I've been cultivating connection with my body over the years. So the somatic awareness and my body love and the self-care, and I did all the things, I iced it and took some herbs and whatnot. But anyway, within 48 hours, I was amazed at how quickly the pain actually resolved. I mean, my partner thought I was making it up, but he didn't say that. But anyway, point being, our bodies can try to get our attention in different ways, when it doesn't feel safe, right? When it is feeling maybe triggered or threatened based on any past events, traumas, stressful situations, even generational and ancestral stuff can come in. And so, because I'll tell you, on this journey, there's been different times when I know this stuff has happened where some of it made sense for where I was at on the journey, and other times, not that it didn't make sense, but there was nothing necessarily, until I dug deeper and discovered the ancestral and generational patterns that were contributing to the fear of, for example, being seen or speaking my truth or things like that. Anyway, to do a quick recap, I just want you to know again, the 3 surprising signs that you're actually leveling up are 1, feeling disoriented and you're in limbo land, and maybe even plus or minus chaos and drama coming up, okay? The second sign is emotional, emotional fears and doubts and insecurity coming up, which make you lose your confidence or feel like you've lost your mojo, because you really start second guessing yourself and you're not feeling safe, right? Because you're leaning into your edge. And then the third one, as we talked about, is the body issues, whatever flavor that might show up for you. And so the most important thing that I hope you can take away from this video is that when you're leveling up and when you're on the verge, on the brink of a breakthrough to that, next level of your success, of your freedom, of your fulfillment, of something that you truly desire, whether it's in life or biz or both, it's absolutely normal for these things to surface. And at the end of the day, and some people might call it a test, I don't really like that perspective, but at the end of the day, you get to keep choosing you keep choosing, stepping into, leaning into your edge and choosing that new next level you, that chosen timeline, okay? And when you stay steady with that, that's when the magic happens. That's when the shifts, that's when the, the miracles and the, the client comes in, or the connection, for your biz or whatever it is, like the magic and miracles start to show up. And it is, yes, it is a process, and it doesn't have to take a long time either to navigate if you have the awareness, the tools, the intention, the support, right? And so I just wanted you to really know that if you're experiencing similar type signs, that they are not setbacks. They are literally setting you up for success. So the last thing I'll say before I wrap this up, excuse me, is the only maybe disclaimer, I guess, I would have in terms of, the signs like not being, not setting you up for success, so to speak, are two things. One, like whenever things don't work out the way you would like, whenever it feels like things aren't going your way, it is my belief and experience that the universe always has something bigger and better for you planned. So if something, it's that saying, right, that spirit's rejection is your protection or redirection or course correction, right? So in that case, where maybe you're dreaming too small, or maybe you are really attached to the way that you want something to work out, in those cases, I would say that when things feel like they're not working out, it's still always for your highest and best. Like everything is always working out for you. And it's for something higher and better and bigger than you can even imagine, okay? And then the last piece that I want to add to that is sometimes it's also, and this is sort of like a tangent of that, sometimes it can also be like the way, like we can get really attached to wanting something, and we can get attached to, say, the timeline, and we can get what we can want to force or push or control things, right? And if things aren't ready, and it's like you can't force, if you're growing a tree, right? Like you can't force, or a plant or whatever, the process to happen faster. And if you're trying to force something to happen in a certain way or a certain timeline that, again, is just not aligned, that's another scenario where I want to say that the things that are showing up that feel like they're setbacks or feel like things aren't working out for you, it's happening for a reason, whether it's, the universe wanting you to, and I don't want to say learn a lesson, but maybe like refine, learning to surrender and relax into receiving something versus forcing and pushing and going against the flow. Like, it's like I really want you to know it doesn't mean that you're not meant to have it. Maybe it's like the way that you're going about it that needs to be refined or realigned. Okay? I hope that makes sense. Those were just kind of two little sort of caveats or disclaimers or I don't know what word to use for that where I feel like the 3 signs that I covered, the 3 surprising signs that are setting you up for success, that are literally signs that you are leveling up. And again, on the verge, on the brink of your next level breakthrough to the success, the fulfillment, the freedom, the reality, and the chosen timeline of your desires. These are signs that you're on the right path. And again, it's just a matter of either the refinement or recalibrating your nervous system to expand the capacity to receive the thing or the reality. All right? So I trust that you got value from this conversation. Let me know how it landed down below. And until next time, ciao for now. Namaste. Love you. Bye.